Hello viewers, welcome to part 6 of the video series on how to design the most effective irrigation system for your farm. In today's video, I'm going to discuss site survey. We're going to look at what kind of information you need to collect when doing a site survey, the methods of doing site surveys, and also how to choose the most appropriate method for conducting a site survey. So stay tuned till the end because the information that I'm going to share in this video is very crucial and very important in doing an irrigation system design. So if I start with the site survey information. So site survey information involves collecting correct and accurate field data that is going to help you in developing a proper irrigation system design. If you don't collect proper information, you might have problems in developing an effective system because there are things that you might have omitted or things that you might have not factored in that is now going to impact you in terms of when you are, for example, when you are sizing pipelines or when you are working out pressures. If you don't collect proper information, then you might end up with a system that's not going to serve its intended purpose. So it's very important to collect a very accurate and correct field data because that is what is going to inform an effective irrigation system design. So if I start with the general information about the area. So if you go to the field, first you need to know the general information about the area. You need to know where is the farm located. Its location, you can always even get the coordinates using a GPS if you need to get an accurate location of the field. So having known where the field is located, the next thing you need to know is what is the size of the land that you're going to design irrigation system for. How many acreage? Is it 10, 20, 30, 50? You need to know the size of the farm that you're going to do the irrigation system for. So that means when you go to the field, you need to establish or know where the field boundaries are. So by knowing the field boundaries, then you'll be able to know, the dimensions in terms of length and width, if it is a rectangular, or if it is any other shape, you need to know the exact dimensions that you are going to work with. So then you need to know the accessibility. How do you access the land? Is there a proper road network? Or if there's no road, then how do you access the place? So that is very important. Then you need to know also other existing infrastructure because somebody might have even 10 acres, but there are also other infrastructure that he needs to put in place, like farm worker housing, if he needs to put maybe any other projects that is running within his farm. So those kind of things you need to know because then you will be able to establish the area that you're going to do an irrigation system for. So having determined the general information about the area, then you need to know the topography of the land. By topography, I mean you need to have a general feeling of the slope, the general slope of the land. Is it gently sloping? It is a hilly place. Is it, the land that is flat? So those kind of information are very important. But then again, if you are looking at slopes, you need to also to know the elevation differences, like where is the highest point, where is the lowest point. That is also very critical because it's going to help you when you are looking at how pressure of water is distributed across the field. So you also need to determine and know the type of soil that is there. Type of soil is very important because it is going to help you understand the infiltration rate because that is important in selecting an irrigation system. Also, it is important because it's going to help you to know the water holding capacity. So that also helps in, how you schedule your irrigation system so that your crops will be able to get the required amount of water at all the times. Then you need to know the type of crop that is intended to be grown. Is it an orchard farm? Is it vegetable crops? So that is important because it's also going to help you in selecting the most appropriate irrigation system And also, even if you are selecting a particular irrigation system, then what kind of piping system that you need to put in place to deliver the required amount of water. So once you determine that, then you need to know or determine the source of water. So source of water is very important because it is from that water that you're going to irrigate the field. So you need to know where is the source of water located. If the farmer is getting water from the tank, where is the tank located? And even water that is filling that tank, where is it coming from? Is it a municipal water? Or is it a borehole water? If it's a borehole water, what is the flow rate? How much water is he able to get per day or per week? You need to know that information, because the amount of water that is able to get is going to determine then how you schedule your irrigation system, or how you're going to size your irrigation infrastructure. You need to know also if you're getting water, for example, from an open source like a river, lake, then you need to know the quality of water, which is going to determine how best to filter water in able to, be able to work well with the system that you're going to put in place. Then you also need to know the climate of the area. You can always have a general information about the climatic conditions of the place. If it's a dry place, you'll always have a general idea of the climatic factors of the place. So if it's an area that receives a lot of rain, also you'll be able to tell from when you go to the field. So those information are important because it is going to help you again on selecting the most appropriate irrigation system for the farm, and also on how to schedule your irrigation system. Because if it is a hot place, or if it is a place that receives low amount of rain, then you need to know, determine how much water you need to apply to meet the crop water requirements. So, but however, accurate information about climate also you can be able to get even from meteorological data, which is always available if you go to the meteorological department. So after having determined all that, you need to sit down with the client to discuss his preferences, because sometimes customers have got various preferences, which can be like how he intends to plant his crops, how he intends to, schedule his crop. You need to discuss those, because they are going to also be important. You need to incorporate all this information that the client gives you in developing a proper irrigation system that is going to serve his or her needs. Then finally, you need to know what kind of power is available. We have 3-phase, 2-phase power, because if you're going to have a pumping system, you need to know that the power that is available is able to drive your pump, or is able to serve the intended purpose in terms of pumping and all that. So all this information are critical, but also don't forget to check the existing infrastructure that is there, in terms of if the farmer has an existing irrigation system, you need to know how is the pipe network connected into the field, what areas is currently being served by water and what areas are not getting water. So you need to understand the existing infrastructure and even the challenges with the existing system, or how that is going to be important, because it's going to help you to determine how you're going to incorporate your system also with the existing infrastructure. So those information are critical. So the next I'm going to discuss on the methods that now you can use to collect, you can use for the survey. So there are different site survey tools that are used in collecting field data. If you look at the picture that I've shared, you can see different tools that are used. We have tape measure, we have odometer, we have handheld GPS, and we also have theodolite. So these tools can be, as simple as possible, but also they can be highly sophisticated. that comes with the modern technologies that are currently available. So later on, I'll show you how to choose the most appropriate tool for conducting a site survey. But if I just discuss briefly different tools, like I start with a tape measure. Tape measure is very important in getting accurate dimensions or accurate distances across the field. If you need to know the distance from one place to another, it's very simple and very easy to use. You can use the tape measure and just measure the distance and you know the accurate measurement. So tape measure is very easy to use, but also it's limited to a very large tract of land. If you want to do, for example, 100 acres, it might not be practical to use a tape measure to measure all those dimensions. So another important tool is handheld GPS. Handheld GPS is one of the most commonly used tools in conducting irrigation surveys. Personally, I use it a lot. So it is very easy to use, very easy to navigate because it is portable. So a handheld GPS will give you information about latitude, longitudes. You can also get coordinates using a handheld GPS. Then you can also get distances. So it is very easy and practical to use even in large areas, especially if you just need to navigate around the field, get the field information, which you'll transfer into your maybe AutoCAD to develop the field layout. But also it has got its shortcomings in that the accuracy of a handheld GPS is it falls within the range of between 5 to 10 meters. So if you need precise measurement of distances, then you might not be able to get that using a handheld GPS. Another shortcoming is that in a place where there's a lot of obstructions, like there's a lot of trees or in a thicket, then its accuracy tends to come down. So you might not be able to get very accurate data in such kind of places. So another important tools is total station and theodolite. So these are tools that are both used to measure horizontal and vertical angles during surveying and engineering projects. So the total station is generally superior to a theodolite because of its digital integration and precision. Total stations are more expensive, but also they require survey training and manufacturing software training so that you're able to use it accurately. So it is for total station, it is important when you are completing surveying jobs that span large distances, especially over treacherous terrain. And also, a total station will provide the most reliable and accurate results in such kind of areas. So if you have a very large place where you want to do a survey and you need very accurate information in terms of the elevations and all that, especially if you are designing a dam or you want accurate information of elevations, or you are designing any other infrastructure that requires accurate information about the elevations and distances, then total station and theodolite might be the best tools to use. So the next I'm going to discuss now how do you select the most appropriate tool or system to use. So the suitability of a survey method generally depends on the time availability. How much time do you have? If you have a lot of time, there's tools that takes you a lot of time to use. For example, tape measure, it takes a lot of time to pull the tape. If you are measuring, for example, a large area, you have to pull the tape, all those areas, then it takes you a lot of time. And like if you just use a handheld GPS, you walk around or just navigate around and take the coordinates. So it will be much simpler and quicker to use. So if you have a lot of time, or time is a factor, then you need to see which kind of tool now is the most appropriate. Then also you need to know the manpower you have. There are some tools that require highly technical skills, like the total station and theodolites. Those tools require somebody who has technical know-how on how to use them accurately. So if you don't have such kind of technical skills, then again, using that might not be appropriate for you. or you might need to hire or get somebody else who has that skills to use it. So you need to understand the size of the project. Like I told you, if you are doing a survey for a large a large area or large piece of land, then using simple tools like tape measure might not be very practical. You might need to use other tools like a GPS or total stations that can help you cover a larger area very fast. Or even drone technology. Nowadays, there's drone technologies that are used in surveys to cover, even 100 or 1,000 of acres within a short time. So also another factor that you need to consider is the level of precision required. There are tools that are very precise, but there are tools that are not very precise. Like I told you, handheld GPS, the accuracy ranges between 5 to 10 meters. So if you need something very accurate, especially when you are doing a system that requires high level of precision, then handheld GPS might not be very practical. Then you also need to understand the cost, like how much cost is available for the site survey. So there are tools that using them is expensive. Like I told, like theodolites, they are expensive to use. So if you just need to do a simple survey, then you might decide to use other methods rather than using a system that is going to be expensive. Or even drone technology, having to conduct a field survey using drone, it's going to have its cost implications. So you need to factor in that. So those are the factors that you need to consider when selecting the most appropriate method to conduct your field survey. So guys, we've come to the end. That is the end of today's video. I hope you've learned a lot as regards to conducting field survey. The next video I'm going to show you how to transfer, if you are using a GPS, how to transfer the information from the GPS to your computer so that you are able to develop proper irrigation system field layout using an AutoCAD software. So you can subscribe our videos so that you don't miss, because that is an important also lesson as regards to designing an irrigation system. So thank you. If you also need help in developing an irrigation system design, do not hesitate to contact us with the number on your screen, because we'll always be available and ready to help you to achieve that. So thank you very much, and see you in the next one.